As promised, here's how to identify the current work from home scam. So typically when you are applying for work from home jobs, you're going to Remote Jobs IO, ZipRecruiter, Indeed, Yahoo, Monster. You're going to lots of different platforms and you're applying. You're looking for work from home, jobs from home, all those different things. And you're applying. And most of the time, a lot of those jobs have the same titles. Remote customer service rep, remote data analyst, remote call center. All right. Most of the titles of the positions are pretty similar. And when you start applying for a lot of them, you tend to lose track of who you've applied to or what exactly positions you've applied for. And that is what these scammers are banking on. So what you're going to receive is an email like this one that says, congratulations, you've been moved to the next round, or your application has been moved to the next level. Congratulations, you've moved to the second phase of the interview process. We've received your application, something of that sort, making you think that you applied to this job. Now, before we get into some of the nitty-gritty details of how you can spot it as a fraud or a scam, let's look at some of the components of the email. Okay, so first, they're going to greet you as Dear Applicant. Almost every single one of these that I've received have said Dear Applicant. They do not have my name attached to it, okay? They're going to tell you something about moving you on to the next stage of the process, et cetera, et cetera. They're going to mention the name of the job again, and then they're going to give you details on how to move on to that next stage. Now, the interview details always follow a very similar formula. They're going to first put the date of the interview either as the date that you've received the email, or they're going to use ASAP. All right, first red flag. How are they going to schedule you an interview for the same time that you're receiving the email? Okay, but they bank on you being excited that you get a response and you're not paying attention to that. Then they're going to move you to another platform. Sometimes it's Microsoft Teams, sometimes it's Signal, sometimes it is WhatsApp, okay? But they're going to move you off platform. And then they're always going to give you a job ID code. Then there's going to be some verbiage on how to download the platform if you don't have it downloaded already. And that is a time-sensitive nature because there's not a lot of spaces available and the hiring manager is waiting for you. Now, the thing that always really piques my interest, because we don't speak like this typically in the United States anymore, is that the hiring manager is either Mr. So-and-so or Mrs. So-and-so, okay? Usually if you're talking about a regular job, they say, oh, Kirk Cameron or Melissa Smith will be waiting for you. We don't say Mrs. Smith or Mr. Cameron too much anymore. So those are the first things that alerted me that this doesn't even sound right because we don't typically speak like this in the United States anymore. So if you keep going along with this and you move off platform, okay, what you're going to get is a long series of discussions with this person. The first thing they're going to do is greet you. How are you doing, so-and-so? It's lovely to meet you, dear. Things like that. Again, if the other things didn't alert you, them referring to you as dear or love or anything like that, big red flags. Then they're going to say, okay, the next part of the interview, we need you to answer these qualifying questions. And usually it's about 5 to 10 questions that is related to the position. Your work ethic, something to do with the job itself, maybe typing speed, but the questions they ask do seem to be relevant to the position. So that doesn't really give off any red flags until you get near the end and they start asking you, what bank do you use? Or some other question like, where do you live? So there's other questions that they start asking and you're like, why do you need to know this information right now? So let's say you still ignore all of that, okay? The next thing that they're going to do is say, okay, you've completed the application. Someone will be in contact with you if you make it to the next round. And then lo and behold, the next day you get an email that says, congratulations, you have been hired. Around the same time, you'll also get a message from your contact person on whatever platform they sent you to say, congratulations, you've gotten the job. You should be receiving an email, etc., etc. This is when the scam really starts. Your contact will then give you a list of items that you need to have in order to work from home. And usually this list is extensive, like computers and softwares and all kinds of things, a lot of money. And then when you ask, are they going to pay for it? They say, no, it's your responsibility. This is how you do your job when you work from home. And when you say, never mind, or no, I don't want to do that, that's what they're counting on. So if you rescind your offer, say, you know what, never mind, this is too much money, I don't want to do this, I can't afford this, anything to that extent, all of a sudden they come back with, oh, great news, our accounting department has just said that we have funds available to help you pay for your items. So we're going to send you a check for you to deposit, and you can use that to pay our vendor to send you the items that you need for your job. Let me repeat that. They say that they will send you a check for you to deposit, and then you're going to take that money that you deposited and then send it to their vendor, who will then send you the equipment you need for your job. Then, if that doesn't set off any alarm bells, then if you say, okay, that sounds good, then they're going to go with another message and say, well, actually, we can't mail it to you due to banking issues, but we can email it to you and you can deposit it via mobile deposit. And if you say, okay, they send it to you, and then they want verification. They want you to take a picture that you deposited the check. Okay? So what's the scam? The scam is that you believe them and you deposit the check, okay? And that when the check clears, usually the next business day, they're then going to say, okay, here's a link for you to send the money to our vendor so they can send you the equipment. But in actuality, the check is a bad check. And once your bank actually follows through the process, there's not going to be any money there. And you've sent your money to this other entity, and now the bank is recalling the bad check, and now you're out however thousands of dollars that they've sent you. So to review, they email you, but they don't offer your name. They move you off platform. They want you to buy equipment, and when you say no, they offer to send you a check for you to deposit so you can send them back the money. So what is the other short ways, the detailed ways to see if something else is a scam? The easiest thing to do is look at the email address. Okay? So I'm going to show you right here. If the email address is not from the company that they say they're from, if the domain name doesn't match the name of the company, most companies have their domain name in their email address. So, human resources at hnrblock.com, human resources at amazon.com. All right? Not human resources hnrblock at gmail.com. All right? So that's one way to tell that it's not the actual people from the company emailing you. And if you're still not convinced about everything, like I said in my other post, go to Reddit. Type in the details of what's being sent to you, and lo and behold, if it's a scam, it's going to come up on Reddit because other people would have posted about it. So I know this was long. I hope this helps anyone out there who's looking for remote jobs, and hopefully you don't get scammed. But if this does come across your email, then hopefully you'll know how to identify scams if they come about. So if you want more tips about work from home and how to spot scams or what kind of jobs to look for, make sure you type jobs in the comments, and I will definitely answer your questions.